Yes.
Yeah.
All right, let's get some silence.
All right. God. You okay?
Ben had a stroke.
Holy shit. Some.
All right. Okay, that's good.
All right.
Intro it up.
Intro it up.
Hey everyone, and welcome to the Target Audience Podcast. TJ here, joined with my host Pierce.
What up?
And Ben.
Hey.
And this week we will be reviewing Bohemian Rhapsody.
What was Bohemian Rhapsody about, TJ?
Oh,
I'm sure nobody knows.
You don't know what it's about?
It's about a little underground band.
Oh, it's a story of the legendary rock band, you might have heard of them, Queen, and the lead singer Freddie Mercury, leading up to their famous performance at Live Aid.
Yep.
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
So this movie's kind of about their rise to starhood. Kind of like how we're on our rise to starhood.
Yeah.
Exactly the same, actually.
Exactly the same.
Yep. Who's the Freddie Mercury?
I'm the Freddie Mercury of the group, let's be honest here. I'm carrying all the heavyweight.
Yeah.
Oh,
I think you're...
I think you are the Freddie
Sorry,
Mercury.
I'm the only person who's been in every episode except for one.
Right.
I'm here the most.
That is true.
I got editor credits.
It's actually more Brian May. When you think about it.
Yeah, but that's not as cool.
That's not as cool.
Well, he's alive.
I want to be Freddie Mercury.
But what I'm saying,
He outlasted
is him and Roger Taylor were in it before Freddie Mercury even.
Oh, that is true.
Think about it.
Fuck, Pierce is our Freddie Mercury.
Hey, I'm the Freddie Mercury.
Yeah. But like I was trying to say, on our rise to starhood, they got a little help. You know how we could get a little help? By you liking this video and leaving a comment about what you thought about Bohemian Rhapsody.
Unless it's a bad comment, how you don't like us. Don't leave those.
No, please, even leave those.
Yeah,
I don't
please.
care.
I would take
I'll get into a shit fight in the comments. I don't care. I'm not above that.
Alright,
I'll
fine
take
then.
I'll
Leave
take
the
a
ones
mean
about Ben
comment.
and TJ, but if you have anything bad to say about me, I'm too sensitive.
Yep. But, yeah. Well, since we've already got here, might as well give you some other shameless self-advertising. We have a website, tap-cast.com.
I thought you were going to say
Tap-that-ass.com.
And
Oh, we
also
could've made it
follow us,
tap-that-cast.
tap_undercast. Fuck. I'm also on Twitter, tap_cast. That's what I am on Twitter. Follow us. We talk about things on there. Mainly it's just links to our YouTube videos. But not forever.
Not forever.
Not forever.
It's
Actually, we're gonna definitely branch out
Yeah.
into...
But hey, we need people that actually will be listening to it first before we can do anything. So make sure to follow us on social media and the website. Links will be down below in the comments. And after that, we're kind of moving on because I feel uncomfortable shilling my own stuff. How was Bohemian Rhapsody, TJ?
I liked it overall. Bohemian Rhapsody I'd say it was pretty good.
How'd you like it, Pierce?
It was good, but it wasn't like
Worth the hype, right?
It wasn't worth the hype.
Right.
It was good.
If it wasn't Queen,
bad.
it wouldn't have been nearly as good or interesting of a movie.
It's
Right.
not. Yeah, it's not a bad movie.
Now, here's the thing: as a biopic, that's like the way it was advertised and all the buzz it got, and I mean, you're talking huge Oscar buzz.
Yeah, the movie was fucking massive. It won an Oscar,
and it should, given that it's about the band Queen and their legacy and everything. I get the hype behind it, but what it ends up coming to is it plays out like a fun rock and roll fantasy with Queen as the backdrop main band.
Yeah, exactly.
It's just a fun movie. Is it necessarily an amazing biopic? Is it epic? Not necessarily for the most part. I will say the live performance scenes, yes, 100% are definitely really
but
damn
the rest
good.
of it's kind of a mess.
It's a little all over the place.
The movie is...
The strong performances just all over the place.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Bryan Singer shit the bed.
Bryan Singer did a lot of things he wasn't supposed to do.
Like fucking kids.
Yeah. It's like, yeah,
He's out there, he's a dick grabber. Nobody's talking about him. Everybody wants to talk about Kevin Spacey.
Yeah, I thought it was a weird scene when when Freddie Mercury went on that long tirade about how molesting children was okay. But
yeah.
Bryan Singer, he's an artist. You let him do what they do.
Mm-hmm. I bet Bryan Singer had a mustache in the 80s. And let little kids dance on it.
Jesus
Oh my God.
Christ.
I even tweeted about this, actually. I even said, why is everyone's talking about Kevin Spacey. I don't think I mentioned Kevin Spacey, but I was like, everyone's hyping up Bohemian Rhapsody, but no one seems to mention that Bryan Singer is the R. Kelly of movie directors.
He is!
It's not like a new
It's a well-known thing. It's an open secret that Bryan Singer does creepy shit to 17-year-old boys.
It's been around since the X-Men
It's been a
days.
thing for fucking ever.
Yeah. Yeah, and then
All
like,
right.
even after this came out, more allegations came up, but
Yeah.
timing, whatever. Anyways,
Bohemian Rhapsody.
Brian
Yeah.
Singer wasn't in the movie, so I didn't
Yeah.
have to see him.
Yeah.
Now, that being said,
I know I
it's-
took it down
Yeah.
that path
You
real
had
hard,
to.
real fast.
You had to.
TJ
It's
likes
cool.
this movie. He wants to talk about
No,
it.
it's cool. I mean, we can talk about it. You know, like yeah,
I think it's important to mention. It's kind of
right.
weird to
You
just
put some
omit
valid
that
points.
fact.
I'm
Yeah.
not saying that Brian Singer's a good person.
Yeah.
But
I'm saying he's
at
a
this
great
point, we
person.
gotta separate art from artist for the sake of
Yeah.
this episode.
Yeah, I can't judge the movie based on.
Right.
Yeah.
And I think it got some stuff right and definitely some stuff wrong. It, it's
it
a
did.
flawed movie for sure.
Yeah.
But
Solid performances.
that being said, I'd say Rami Malek definitely deserves the praise that he got.
Yeah.
He's
He
definitely-
becomes Freddie
he's
Mercury. He
definitely-
sells it.
He
He's
sells
definitely
it.
the lifesaver of the movie. When you first start watching it, it definitely takes a little bit of getting used to, like with his like the way he looks with the overbite and the way he's
Yeah.
talking and everything. But by the end of that movie, I'm sold that I'm watching Freddie Mercury.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
It was damn good, and
Oh.
that doesn't take anything. Most of the other actors did pretty good too. But
Is anyone checking up
Real
on
show
Rami
stealer.
Malek? He kind of looks like he looks a little sick.
He always looks a little sick. He's always looked a little sick. I think it's just how he looks.
yeah,
Sorry, Rami Malek.
but I'd
And
say
also
like
your twin brother. I know you guys kind of look alike.
Wait, what?
He has a twin brother.
What's his name?
I don't know. His last name's Malik though.
Well, I would hope.
I'll look it
but
up.
no, definitely. I mean, it's definitely his show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, it was just really, really good performances.
They did a good job too at painting. Like they didn't necessarily paint Freddie Mercury as like a great person. Oh wow, God, yeah, they are
Yeah,
twins.
he's like a little chubbier
Yeah.
twin. Sammy,
Sammy.
Rami and Sammy.
Mhm.
Sam Raimi.
But I think the back half of the movie shines more than the first half.
Yeah,
Yes.
I could agree.
And the
with that
rest
for
of
sure.
it, like that's what I mean. That's when you really start delving into some real like.
Mhm.
I guess for a movie that's about an unformulaic band that was groundbreaking at the time, this movie follows a formula up until
Yeah.
a point.
Yeah,
So,
exactly.
I think there's a distinction. You talk about how it really finds its footing in the back half of the movie.
Mm-hmm.
It's because I think the entire sequence of events from beginning to end is fictionalized.
Yeah, it's very tongue in cheek, and it's loosely based on.
Loosely based on
Yeah.
some true stories.
Mhm.
Like they got the names right.
the
at
way-
least, I
the
guess.
way it
But
plays
the
out-
thing is that the back half, the unbelievable stuff, is presented in a way that is a lot more believable.
Right.
That's
Like
true.
about Queen not necessarily going to be in Live Aid from the beginning and all that stuff. Whereas in the beginning, like him struggling with the mic stand, trying to do the
Yeah, it's just like
that
fun-
stuff is like
it's a rock
you
and
know
roll
that didn't
fantasy.
fucking happen.
Yeah.
It's rock and roll fantasy, like fun storybook stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Pop up video facts.
You know, they
You know what
write
I mean?
the song
It's-
on the spot at the studio.
See, that's just really fun movie stuff.
Exactly.
Yeah,
And is this a fun rock and roll movie? Yes.
Yeah.
100%. If you're
I
into
think-
rock music, check it out. It's
I
fun.
think before you watch Bohemian Rhapsody, watch Walk Hard, the Dewey Cox story. and
Yeah,
then you'll see a lot of similarities
But,
for good reason.
But also, like, for example, the way it plays out when Freddie Mercury joins the band. He goes and sees Smile in the bar and starts seeing that, like, this band's got a lot of potential, and he's been following them for a while. Conveniently, he just strolls to the back right when the band, like, kicks
It's
up. The
about
lead
to-
singer quits.
no,
Yeah.
like not like the day of. It was like 10 minutes after the
Yeah.
lead singer quit.
He was literally
He's like,
right
you guys
there.
Need a new singer?
And then what do they do? They make some easy jab at his teeth, like, his
Yeah.
overbite kind of thing. And then he turns around and sings. And then
Yeah.
Freddie Mercury confidently is like, I'll consider your offer. And that's great for the sake of a movie. That's not how that
That's
shit
how
went
you
down.
would tell that story if you were like drunk and bragging to friends.
Exactly.
Like-
Like,
Exactly.
which is like, it's almost as if, like, if let's say Freddie Mercury didn't unfortunately pass away, and he was like just like telling funny stories about how things played out,
yeah. I
and
can
like
see
that was how this
Uh-huh.
like documentary was presented as like kind of like the tall tales of Queen.
Yes.
But it's not.
Mhm.
It's
not.
presented as fact,
Yeah.
and that's where I think I draw issue with is that it just
So the movie
people are taking it as the gospel of Queen. Like this
Yeah,
is
exactly.
how this is Queen,
and that's really
and
every
it's not.
that's really every biopic,
Yeah.
but this one, I mean, after seeing so many
Dude,
biopics,
it's more-
'cause this is like
It's more loosely
how many
based,
biopics
yeah.
have come out before this, and it's just like it follows the same beat, so cliche.
Yeah.
A lot of things in this movie that happen are very cliche, but then you don't really care because it's Queen.
Because
then you get to see Queen do cool Queen stuff.
yeah,
Like,
'cause it's like, here's them being nobodies. Here's their rise to fame. Here's where fame got too much for them. This is their downswing. Oh, they went out on a high note, and then he's gone.
No, but
which is like such a.
but
and then show footage of the real guy.
lucky
at the end of the movie.
they have the rights and the way to work in an amazing soundtrack throughout the whole movie. No matter what you think about it, you're tapping your foot to it. You're singing along.
And
I see what you mean by like this movie wouldn't necessarily work if it wasn't Queen.
Well, because they did this with
As the
Tupac, and no one
backdrop.
liked the Tupac movie.
yeah, because people wanted Tupac to be real and grounded, and they wanted to show all the nasty shit.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, I didn't see the Tupac movie, but with this movie, it feels very tame.
And they also
Unfortunately, this movie is, I think we can all agree, is that like, it's good, it's palatable. You don't regret watching it, at least I don't.
No.
But the thing is that unfortunately it's a mediocre movie that is elevated because Queen is in it, and people see Queen and they want to like it. If this was any other band, this movie wouldn't have done a fraction as well.
They tried.
If it was about the Jackson 5, even. And Michael Jackson's fucking massive. If this was about the Jackson 5's rise to success, it wouldn't have been as well received.
Yeah, and
they've been great timing with Leaving Neverland.
Yeah.
Anyway,
they bit off a lot.
How many
too.
controversies we get into?
They bit off a lot too, because not only is it they're trying to make a movie about Queen, but at the same time you can't make a movie about Queen without it being about Freddie Mercury and touching more on the Freddie Mercury thing. And there's certain points in the movie where they try to mesh the two separately but together at the same time, and that's where the movie kind of like finds weaker points.
Yeah, and the thing is
people
that people
want
don't.
Freddie Mercury.
People
course.
don't want a movie that drags Freddie Mercury through the mud and shows that he kind of was a piece of shit for a while there.
He did some shitty things, but hold on.
Yeah,
this
they just
movie,
do the few scenes where he's.
I have a
I'm
problem.
kind of rude to
Hold
some
on.
friends.
I'm fine. I'm rude to you.
Real quick too. This movie definitely touches on some darker aspects of
It
Freddie
does.
Mercury's life. It does do the thing like with
But
his
they
relationship.
but they
with Mary.
redeem him
They
by
do.
showing only the nice things he does
Hold on.
after that point.
The other thing too, though, is
exactly.
we can't sit there and pretend that Roger Taylor and Brian May and everybody was like, you know, Mr. Innocent in terms of those band
Oh,
arguments.
that's true.
But they didn't present
Hold on,
any of that,
hold on,
and
though.
therefore
Yeah.
they're not presenting things as they actually were, which
that's
is the
thing.
source of my
That's
problem.
The thing too is Queen was such a big band at one point in their career, especially after like Night at the Opera came out and stuff, where egos in bands like that do clash, especially when they're getting offered solo performances and record deals and stuff like that. But it's also like, you know, everybody's got their own thing. This movie definitely presents it more one way than the other.
Well,
Because it's not a Queen movie, it's a Freddie Mercury movie.
Well, also, like, what...
Starring the rest of Queen.
You know, and what adds a little salt to the wound is before this movie got made, they were doing a Freddie Mercury movie that Sacha Baron Cohen was going to do, where he was going to play Freddie Mercury, actually. And
there's a lot of drama behind that.
There was a lot of creative differences because he wanted to go into the darker stuff about Freddie Mercury and delve into the crazier parts of Freddie Mercury, and then the rest of Queen was like, no, we don't want that.
That being said, I think the movie does come together at the end for a very cool Live Aid recreation performance. I think that's the thing you take away from the movie most. Is when you see it.
But then I feel like that's not that hard to do.
No, you're right.
To
That
get
could have
people
been
to
released
like
as
it.
its own thing. They
You're
could have
right.
done a tribute to Live Aid and then just released like a half-hour thing and just been like, hey, here's this thing.
Yeah.
Commemorating whatever the fuck they want to commemorate.
It was cool to watch, but it was the only way I think the movie could have came back to a full circle of like, let's end this on like as good of a note as we can.
I think that Queen deserved better. I think it's a mediocre movie that got bumped up a couple points on the quality scale because it was about interesting people.
And then Rami
I think
Malek
it deserved
was really
a good movie. I think the material needed to be handled better. And they didn't.
So it was more in the wrong hands. Like you had all the makings of something good.
Yes.
It's like giving someone.
It's a fucking great story, and they told it poorly.
Right.
They told it boring.
I see what you mean. It's like it's like giving someone like the keys to a Ferrari that just got their license.
Yeah, and they're afraid to drive on the highway.
Yeah, it's like they live in Germany, but they don't drive the Autobahn.
That could definitely be like it's the people behind it. It's the stars did their fucking
They
best.
did their
at
job,
it, and they worked with what they had.
They played it too tame.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The movie's PG-13 when it should have been an R-rated movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think we were talking about that, me and Ben, where there's certain parts where it does suffer from that. You can't quite go as R as you need to go. Especially it takes away from the believability of the arguments.
This movie was too Hollywood.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They had to make it so that everybody can go and all the moms can be like, oh my god, I loved Queen growing up.
Mm-hmm.
You kids gotta see this.
You're right. There's a couple.
This is a bunch of 10-year-olds. This is their exposure to Queen.
There's some things that are like almost there, but could have been done way better. I definitely see what you're saying.
Yeah, I just think it was handled poorly. It wasn't bad.
No, it was good.
It was just fine.
It was fine, and for
right.
Queen, that's
It was
kind of
fine.
bad. And for Queen, that's bad.
Yeah, and it's not. That's just my issue. Is that it's not that it's not bad. It's just that it needs to be better.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I don't think you're ever gonna really get a great biopic about a band anymore, because they all want to just do the same thing as all the other biopics.
I'd be
I don't
hard
know.
pressed to think of somebody I would really be compelled to go out and see. But I'm also we've been over this in the past. I'm not as big the music guy.
Right.
Mm.
Also, I mean, it's like
I would love to see a Beastie Boys movie.
I have like
That could be fun.
Yeah, I have the bias of rock music's always been a huge part of my life. So
Yeah.
even if the movie's not gonna be good or anything, it's like I'm gonna watch it because it's an option. Because
Well,
it's
exactly.
like
That's me with
something
the-
about rock legends. Like I hope The Dirt plays out good. I think
Yeah.
that one's got some potential.
It does.
That's me with the Doors movie, because
Yeah.
very wildly inaccurate, actually almost like defamatory of
But
Jim
as
Morrison.
a movie,
But
it's
as a movie,
damn good.
I love the Doors, and Oliver Stone makes okay movies. So I don't know, I enjoy the Doors
Yeah,
movie because
no,
I have
yeah.
that bias, because I love the Doors. I love Val Kilmer
Val
as Jim
Kilmer's
Morrison.
amazing as
was
Jim
But
good.
it's not.
It's the same
a
thing as
good
Bohemian
biopic.
Yeah, it's the same as Bohemian
It's
Rhapsody.
just a good movie.
The great band. You got a great actor doing a great job as the lead man,
Mm-hmm.
and then butchered story.
Yeah.
Butchered
Like if you change the
everything else.
names on it, still serves as a fine movie.
Yeah, like if
It's
this
not
movie,
dependent on it being based on a certain person or their exact
Perfect
story.
example. One of my favorite. It's a guilty pleasure movie almost sometimes at this point when I talk to some people about. But that movie, Rockstar, with Mark Wahlberg.
Yeah.
Where
Yeah,
it's
I
about
remember.
him being in the tribute band, and then he gets a opportunity once in a lifetime to take over as being the lead singer of his favorite band, and realizes the grass isn't greener on the other side. And it definitely touches on the rock and roll cliches and the way it
Yeah.
plays out. I love
But
that.
it's
fucking movie.
self-aware.
But it's also a fictional movie, not about a real thing,
Exactly.
and everything like that. So it's allowed to take those creative liberties, and it definitely is heavily influenced on real people and real events, but it gets away with it way better.
I
Yeah.
think if Bohemian Rhapsody was about a fictitious band, same storyline or
It wouldn't
whatever,
hold up nowhere near as much.
there wouldn't have been. It wouldn't have touched the Oscars.
I would have rather somebody like Cameron Crowe get a hold of this rather than Bryan Singer.
Oh, Cameron Crowe. Why does he even do biopics? He should if he does.
Well, I don't know if he has. I know he's done like documentary on like Pearl Jam and stuff. And...
Because I would love to see a movie the same vein as like Almost Famous.
Yes, that's what I'm talking about. You watch
But, like,
Almost Famous, it's like Almost
that's a great
Famous-
rock and roll movie.
Yeah,
That's a great rock. I mean, watch Almost Famous.
yeah, I love it. Have you ever seen Almost Famous?
I don't think so.
Dude, you
Wow,
should
that's
check
a good
that out.
movie,
It's
yeah.
fucking
Almost
amazing.
Famous
It's one of
is a
my
good
favorite.
movie.
Honestly, it's one of my favorite movies.
It's just
like,
a good.
I love Almost
It's a
Famous.
good rock and roll.
Yeah.
What's the word for it?
It's like a coming of age.
Coming of
movie.
age.
Yeah.
With
I-
Billy Crudup?
Yeah,
Yeah.
and Kate Hudson.
Who I
yeah.
always think is Matt Dillon, but it's Billy Crudup.
I could quote this movie like word for word. Like,
Yeah, no, I've never seen it.
I own it. Like it's
Huh.
so good.
So Nation knows that.
Jason Lee's in it.
Jason Lee. Huh.
Yeah.
Kate Hudson.
Soundtrack's
Frances
pretty
McDormand.
good.
Alright.
Yeah, solid flick.
2000. Interesting.
Here, actually, scroll down for a minute.
Yeah.
Oh, like I just saw
And then
Freddie Mercury. I was like, what?
Frances McDormand.
Yeah. Yeah,
I
but
like her a
imagine
lot.
imagine if like someone like that, and you watch this movie with how much like it's definitely a passion project of like Cameron Crowe knows his shit and loves
Exactly.
music as
yeah.
the backdrop, and it's a movie it takes something that people call a groupie, and it's they're band-aids, and it's larger than that, and like he would have put the right care into this movie kind of thing.
Mhm.
If yeah,
But unfortunately, I don't think we're going to see another Queen movie
You're
for
right.
quite some
I
time
wouldn't
because
want-
of this.
I wouldn't want
Yeah,
to.
because
Which is why I'm frustrated, because it's just...
This was our chance,
saturated.
and we missed it. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
It's like Steve Jobs had 2 movies come out back to back, and nobody saw either of them because they came out back to back.
Did you see any of
except
them?
and then one got
No.
and one got really good reviews and one got really bad reviews.
Yeah.
Because one did it right and
And one didn't.
I saw the one with Ashton Kutcher.
I didn't see that one. That was the one
I
that got the
think
bad
that-
reviews.
yeah.
The other one got the
Yeah.
really good reviews. I didn't see either of them.
But
Yeah.
either way, it's like,
Yeah,
the one with Ashton Kutcher came out just after the first one.
you're right. It's kind of like the hype's already gone. And
The
it's
Steve-
like,
gone.
I don't know. I don't think I really want to see a movie about Steve Jobs. 'cause
No, but that was just my example.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
I get what you're saying. That's
Yeah,
actually a good
but,
example. Yeah.
I think I think Queen deserves a second chance at a crazier movie because I feel like they cut out a lot of. Cool
it becomes
stuff.
the Freddie Mercury show halfway through.
Yeah, and that's the thing is they decided that halfway through.
Yeah, and you get bullet points for what's going on in the other band members' lives. It's like, oh, I can't hang out, the wife and the kids.
Also,
just like little throwaway lines that kind of build on the character, and it presents them in a different context, but you don't feel like...
I love the relationship that they did, like, the chemistry between, Freddie Mercury and Mary, and they really painted that like a heavy plot point, and then, like you said, they kind of just put that aside halfway through the movie.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And it was a really good build-up. Like, they were selling you on that as like a
because it's
thing.
like you get the relationship, and he's like, Freddie Mercury's gay. But then it's like, they kind of put his marriage arc on hold, and it's like, okay, we got a bunch of band stuff going on, and then he has one moment where it's like, ooh, he kissed a man. And then, like, it kind of then takes some more breathing room, and then it's like, oh, hey, Mary's back in the picture, and then they have an uncomfortable conversation where he explains that he's
gay.
Bisexual.
She's getting ready to like
and
take
she's
her
like, no,
off.
Freddie, you're gay. And then he's like, no, please, I love you. Still save yourself.
He's
even
really
though that I
conflicted.
don't want to be married to you anymore.
You still have my heart.
And then it forgets about it again, and
Until...
then she pops back up, and it's like, hey, I got a new boyfriend, and he gets jealous, and then she immediately like exits stage left and is gone.
Yeah, the last
until the very end.
Until he's like super sick, and she's like, you need to get back with the band. This is like what you need, who you are. You're in the wrong path.
For how much they emphasize her and how important she was to him, they just leave her out for extended periods. Like they could have shown tension along the lane, stress in their relationships, and how they kept in touch throughout the years, and they didn't.
No. You know what?
She just appears when it's convenient for the plot.
Yeah, and also I felt like the way they dealt with him being gay and stuff was almost how like movies from like the mid 2000s dealt with characters being gay. It didn't feel very real. I don't know.
Well, I feel like it felt genuine.
It felt kind of cheesy.
I don't know.
It felt like his first like nod to him being gay
when he's
is
on the
literally
phone and
a
he sees
trucker
the dude,
coming out of a trucker and he goes in the men's bathroom. Like that's the biggest stereotype of like
which even if that's how that played out, they didn't play it very straight.
And then like
not to use the
and he's like at parties with a bunch of guys wearing like leather hats, and I mean maybe Freddie Mercury did go to those parties, and I'm just that's where the stereotypes come from.
But again, there's a lot of the fictionalized aspects of this movie kind of lays into it's like that's probably not genuine either.
Also, it was just like,
but then also
he's checking out girls, and then he gets a girlfriend, gets married to her, and then all of a sudden he's checking out guys, and he's like, oh, I'm gay. He didn't really do like a build up to like.
And it's also really
hard. He didn't lead on that he was.
And it's also really hard to balance that as a subplot, and then you're still like, oh yeah, that's right. This is a movie about Queen.
Yeah, exactly. Which maybe if in the first act they decided and they committed to it being the Freddie Mercury movie.
That's what I mean. I feel
you could have seen more of that and it had been played the way
I feel like originally going to happen.
I feel like it held back because it didn't quite fully commit to either one, and that's why you get what you get. The more I think about it.
That's just I put some thought into it. And it's just
it was just good. Not
I'm
amazing.
perfectly whelmed.
Right. I'm very whelmed.
I'm not overwhelmed. I'm not underwhelmed.
I got you.
I'm
You're
just,
working that in there.
I'm whelmed.
You know what? A good like. Have you ever seen that Funny or Die video where it's the biopic about Weird Al? It's like a trailer for a biopic.
I would watch a biopic
about Weird Al, and Aaron Paul plays Weird Al Yankovic.
That's actually pretty good.
And it's like the trailer is like. It looks like a trailer for like the Bohemian Rhapsody movie or like the Straight Outta Compton or it's so funny. It's
Weird
very
Al,
accurate.
honestly, that would be an interesting biopic. Though.
Yeah, I would actually but
for real.
It's
like that'd be fun.
It's funny because they play it as like a very serious like music movie.
And the thing is, Weird Al is like secretive enough that like it would be revealing. Because like Freddie Mercury, it's like I feel like the average person that's interested, his story is out there in such a public way that if you're interested, you probably know it pretty well.
You're right.
Like,
which is why I think I'm also not so...
Kind of like if they did a Nirvana movie. It's like we all know Kurt's story so well.
Do they have a Nirvana movie?
No. Well,
no, not really.
Not really.
They have one. I know they have a movie where it's a Nirvana type band.
Last Days.
Kurt Cobain.
And there's a lot. There's a million fucking documentaries.
It's a Gus Van Sant movie, I think.
Yeah.
Last Days.
Speaking of Gus Van Sant.
Yeah.
Next episode.
Oh yeah.
Who did? Oh, did he do the "Don't Worry, We Won't Get Far on Foot"?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh shit! Nice.
So yeah, do you guys have anything really meaningful to contribute on?
About as much as Bohemian Rhapsody does on Queen. No. I'm just kidding.
Actually,
not that harsh on it. It was
cool.
watchable.
I really enjoyed the Mike
scenes...
Myers thing that they did, the cameo.
Yeah, Mike Myers was in that.
Yeah.
They do a little nod to Wayne's World.
Yeah, he's like, no one's gonna turn this up and bang their head to this, and he looks at the camera basically.
Mm-hmm.
Which is like, that's fun.
Mm-hmm.
It'd be funnier as an SNL sketch if like Rami Malek was hosting that week.
Yeah, and then Mike Myers
was a guest
as Wayne, and he was telling, I don't know.
That being said, they did such a good job at like disguising Mike Myers. Like, you know his voice 110%.
He hits the Shrek note.
Yeah.
Like a couple times I had to turn. And I'm like, is that Mike Myers?
Instead of the brown note, the green note.
He does, like when he's really putting his like foot down, slamming on the desk and stuff. You're like, that's Shrek getting angry.
Yeah. And then I think that's like when you put Mike Myers in a movie, you only put him in heavy makeup now. Because like Inglourious Bastards, they call themselves the Bastards. I didn't know that was Mike Myers.
He just likes doing
because I don't see him in anything else until he makes like a little cameo, heavily makeup.
He doesn't do a ton anymore though.
Yeah, he just
does he chooses not to, or
he chooses not to. I think he produced a documentary.
He's got Shrek money. He doesn't need to do anything.
He produced.
I got Shrek money.
I want to say he had something to do with a documentary about like a music producer or something like that. Like, he just does like some behind the scenes, like just. There's rumors of a new Austin Powers, but that's always on the rumor mill.
Yeah, that's always been circulating. I know it peaked a couple months ago where they were like, they got an official script, like they got it pieced together, got picked up.
Would it be like
that doesn't mean anything?
Being like a new Austin Powers, like a reboot, or is it going to be a continuation?
It'll be him, like a sequel. New movie. See, Austin Powers is one that, like, since it's a play on, like, secret agent movies, like James Bond stuff, you could literally just do a story at any time and just play on that.
I have a really bad feeling that if they do, they're going to, like, super politicize it, and they're going to have, like, a Trump kind of character, and it's going to super date the movie.
Trump's going to turn out to
You can see him in big orange fake makeup, though, wearing tidy whiteys. Yeah. Or the tennis picture of Trump in, where it's, like, really unflattering. You can see Mike Myers doing that prosthetic and making fun of that. Or maybe he shits himself and it's got a big brown spot on the whites.
And he goes, ooh.
Yeah, he does the Mike Myers thing.
Trump turns out to be Goldmember.
Yeah, like...
I've been this whole time!
Okay, but you know what would be cool is if...
I can see that.
They did a new Austin Powers and it made fun of how spy movies are nowadays, like the James Bond, Spectre and stuff.
Yeah.
So like them explaining like a certain plot point. He's
super
like,
serious.
He's like he'd be like, oh man, it's like he's like, man, this spy stuff got like way darker recently.
Or what if they just Or what if they just do like a serious Austin Powers movie?
Just one that's played super straight,
but he still wears the big.
And he's still like groovy.
The Tom Cruise movie that's at the end of Goldmember.
Yeah. It's just I don't know.
Yeah. I don't know if I'd want a new Austin Powers movie, but like I'd be like, why not? I love Austin Powers.
Yeah.
It's actually a movie where the sequels are pretty funny.
Let me ask you though, are they gonna be like Super Troopers 2 though, where it's like it's too long, it's been cold for too long, it's not gonna sell.
You're right.
I still haven't seen Super Troopers 2 because I don't want to.
There's like maybe 2 funny scenes in Super Troopers 2.
I want to see the scene where they revisit Jim Gaffigan's character.
That's not even a great moment. It's super early.
My favorite scene in Super Troopers 2 is like one that's like literally 10 seconds long when Favre's eating the green M&Ms and he's swallowing them whole.
He's not chewing M&Ms. That's the joke.
That was funny.
That's actually pretty funny.
That was funny, and then there's one part because they call him out. And they're like, "The fuck are you doing?"
That's actually kind of funny.
That part's funny, and then there's one part too where they're all talking about how Danny DeVito.
They're naming Danny DeVito characters, and the guy doesn't realize
that they're all Danny DeVito.
They're all Danny DeVito, and he's not.
That Danny DeVito is very.
But they legit like make references to like It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, and like they go down his like career.
And they're talking about it's like the guy who played the Penguin in the Batman movie, and they're like,
that's no way it's all the same person.
Yeah,
I think DJ told me
that's the joke. Yeah,
that's literally like that part was funny, but other than that, like the movie was very like meh.
Yeah.
Well, honestly, I revisited Super Troopers, the first one,
not long ago,
and there's a lot of jokes in that movie that were funnier to me back then.
Right.
Yeah, but it's still funny.
But
overall, it's still a funny movie.
It's still
I still laugh at all the stuff I'm supposed to.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, I knew it was about time.
And now we have our one of our guests.
Yeah, Mom, how was Bohemian Rhapsody?
Ben's mom, Dana. We just finished reviewing Bohemian Rhapsody. I know you've seen it like what, twice now?
I know you couldn't help yourself.
So you want to go ahead and what did you think of the movie?
The first time I thought it was awesome.
First time. What about a second watch through?
The second time I kind of saw
it was just good, not amazing, right?
Exactly.
You can still tap your foot to it, but you just did it like the first time you watched it, right? Yeah.
The story was a little weak. There's a lot of
Okay,
gaps.
that's actually
And
similar
you're like
to
the
what we
target
just addressed.
demographic for this
Yeah.
movie, and even you thought it was a little weak.
Yeah. All right. That's
All right. Goodbye.
It was at the tail end of it, so that's okay.
Yeah, that's the tail end of it. All right.
yeah. That's why I kind of
That
just
sums
wrote it
up
in
on-
because I know she
Yep.
saw it.
That sums up Bohemian Rhapsody.
Yep.
And watch it if you want, I guess.
Mm-hmm. Real quick, do you have a favorite?
Did I sour you on this?
No.
I feel like you've
No, I liked it.
you've lost some enthusiasm
No,
towards it.
no, but I get what you're saying. And no, I definitely see your
Crushed
point.
his dream.
I agree with you. Real quick though, end on a good note. Do you have a favorite Queen song?
Bohemian Rhapsody.
Is it? Yeah.
Bicycle.
Okay. Do you have a favorite one?
Bicycle's a good one.
Bicycle's
It's
a
fun.
good one.
I like
think
big
I
butts.
I like. Wait, what'd you say?
I like.
I like big butts.
Oh,
I
Fat
like
Bottom
Big
Girls?
Butts. So I
I
cannot
know.
lie.
yeah. Fat Bottom Girls is great.
I don't know. Killer Queen's really good.
Killer Queen. I love like Somebody Love or Don't Stop Me Now.
That's my favorite
Don't
JoJo
Stop Me
stand.
Now. I think might be my.
Stop me now. Yeah, that's a great one.
That might be my. Favorite.
You know, it's
That
one
We're
of
Gonna
the-
Rock
I
You is
love-
great.
I love the. What'd you say?
We're Gonna Rock You is great.
We're gonna rock you.
We're gonna rock you. I love the scene in Shaun of the Dead.
I'm trying to think of how many songs
Oh,
are
yeah,
close
it's
enough
Stop
to
Me
what
Now,
they do.
yeah.
Because I know it's like DJ is
Yeah.
like he has to correct me
Yeah,
because he doesn't want people to think I'm
sure.
that dumb. So I'm just gonna name as many that are just close enough.
Yeah.
Murderer Queen.
Murderer Queen.
Assassinate the matriarchy.
Oh yeah, I love that. I love their album, A Night at the
Roxbury.
A Night at the Roxbury.
All right.
Another one, Choose on the Dirt.